G'day everyone and welcome to Mobility for Runners. I'm Han, one half of the Sydney Trail Sisters, and I'm looking forward to running you through this hips, back and general leg session that'll hopefully help you running free and feeling awesome. So come on over, we're going to start in couch stretch. You will need a cushion for this one. So bring it over to the wall, pop your cushion down against the wall, and you're going to pop your knee right up against the wall. You can do this against a box or a couch, funnily enough, hence the name. So bringing that front foot forward, and you're going to push on up, if you have the range for it, into that stretch. So from here, drawing your belly button in, rotating your hips under, the front leg's at 90 degrees, and you're trying to put your shoulders back against the wall or as close to the wall as you can behind you. Now, if you are using a couch, an imaginary wall works perfectly fine. If this is really tight for you, feel free to bring your hands down here. For this stretch and opening, well, for all the stretches today, we want to stay at about a 6 out of 10. So generally, if we go any more than a 6 out of 10, you're going to that place where you're really bracing, and it can be having the opposite effect. So rather than feeling freer and opening, your body can be protecting and locking. So coming into this stretch now, drawing your belly button in and tucking underneath the hips. This one can be quite intense, so focusing on the breath. Hopefully that feels like a good release for you too. Trying to feel it down through this front quad. Just going to spend another few seconds here breathing in. Now with mobility, if you are doing this at home, feel free to pause at any point and stay a little bit longer in any of the stretches. We're going to move this left leg forward, nice and far out, and then you can come down into a deeper lunge. So your hips are sinking down, your knees still on that cushion. Shuffle that leg out as far as you can, and then either staying high on your hands or coming down nicely, if that feels okay for you, into a deep lunge. From here, I'm getting a little bit more in the hamstring of the opposite leg as well, but if you feel it up high, just stay in that position. Once again, breathing, taking note of where the tightness is today. Maybe some of these stretches feel totally fine for you and others are a little bit tighter. Good, just one more breath here. And shifting your hips back towards the wall, straightening that front leg out now. This one can be a little bit of a balancing act. We're trying to straighten the front leg and then rotate the hips. So if your left leg's forward, you're drawing that left femur back into the socket and rotating this right hip forward. You could be feeling a really big stretch along this quad and hip flexor or into your hamstring. Lucky me, I have both. Trying to rotate here. I definitely find this one the most intense, so really just trying to relax into that position. This is a stretch that when I'm training clients, I would give most people, because the hip flexors tend to get tight whether we're running or not running, whether we're spending a lot of the day seated, weight training, any of those things, the hip flexors tend to tighten up a bit. So a good one here. And if you are quite restricted here, just know that if you did do this for a minute or so a day, it does open up fairly well. Coming down to the ground, let's change sides. You survived. One leg, other side, knee against the wall or against your couch. Coming into the right angle at that other leg and standing up nice and tall. You might notice a difference between the sides, which is totally normal. But we are trying to, not correct, but reduce that difference between the sides. Just find there's so much that we do in everyday life. We might stand with our weight to one side, favor one side, or sit cross-legged. So it isn't surprising when we have those differences. The good thing, I think, with mobility is that you can spend a little bit longer on the side that's tight. So same thing, feel free to pause this video, spending a bit longer if this is your tighter side, until it opens up. So we might have quite an intense sensation through the hip and quad. We're starting off with some slower, more intense stretches today, and then we'll move into some more active release. And hopefully this is a good session to just give you a bit of cheeky release after a big week of training, or before you head into the day. So a nice general release for the hips and back. Good. Coming on down, walking that front leg out, coming into your deep lunge, either staying up high or down onto your elbows. Spending about a minute in each of these positions at the start here. It's good to be doing this session with you. Thanks for coming along and joining. I hope you're feeling good in your body today, or if you're not, I hope this is a good bit of medicine for your movement. Good, 20 seconds left here. Feel free to move around a little bit. If I rock out to the side, I can definitely feel that opening through the hip. Take these stretches today with a grain of salt. So just move around and find a position that feels good for your body. Coming up, straightening that leg. Getting excited for this hamstring stretch. Oh, joy, it might actually feels okay on this side. I need to spend more time on that left leg. So rotating this hip back into the socket. This one comes forward. We're still tucking under here. Making sure we're drawing our hip bone up and forward, shoulders down and back against the wall. Keeping that rib cage in, so making sure we're not flaring and sticking your bum back towards the wall. Draw it in. There's 25 seconds left here. Cruise through this side. Well done, crew. Taking some nice deep belly breaths. Relaxing the shoulders. Make sure your shoulders aren't up around your ears. 8 seconds left. Good. Slowly coming out there. We can pop this pillow to the side. We're now into a slightly more relaxing position. So bring your body against the wall or against that couch of yours and flipping around until your feet are up the wall. This is a favorite of mine and Al's. Bringing right foot against the wall, left leg over top and sinking hips down to the ground. If you don't have a wall or something that you can do this on today, just bringing your left leg over top of the right and going into that figure 4 stretch. You might be having your hands wrapped around your shin, the back of your quad. If you are really tight, it might be enough just to keep your foot down on the ground and you'll be getting that stretch through the left side there. But everyone else, enjoy the joy. That is a wall stretch. Doing about 90 seconds here each side. Just hang out for another 30 seconds on this side. I love this wall stretch because you get this sense of gravity pulling you down, and gravity does the work, drawing you down deeper into that stretch, especially if you can take breaths in and just relax. So it can sound a little bit woo-woo, but I like to reassure my body, just like, yeah, this is a safe position, we're good here. And you'll be amazed at how much, if you think that, take a deep breath, your body will sink down, because we do hold a certain amount of tension as a protective mechanism if we're not used to these positions. Good, changing sides. Left foot against the wall, right foot over top. Let's sink down here. Taking note, is this different to the other side? Do you maybe need to do a little bit more work into this right hip, or is it in fact amazing and feeling good and free today? As runners, we definitely want a decent amount of tension through the body. So it's not about becoming a yogi. It's not about being hypermobile and super flexy. That's not necessarily helpful with power production or speed production. So we want to really get some good range and good movement. It's about quality movement, and sometimes we just need a little bit of opening to kind of counter the effects of the work that we're putting through the body with those kilometers. Good. Coming into the last 30 seconds here. Sinking your hips down. Stretching is a good stress relief too, stress reliever, I should say. Just taking the time. Yes, we are working on like physical aspects, but just slowing down that heightened nervous system too. Getting a chance to shift our body to a state of rest and digest and recovery, of course. All right, Right, slowly coming off the wall there, just rolling to one side. And we're going to come into a lunge position. So stepping forward, left leg forward, bringing both hands on the inside of our leg there, and the right leg goes back as straight as you can. From here, I like to come up on my fingertips because I'm a little bit tight right now, but straightening through that front leg, trying to get your head down towards the knee, and then coming down. I'm going to do that a few times, breathing in and out. And last one. Good, placing that right hand down on the ground. We're going to take our left arm and bring that elbow as close as you can to the ground. Now, it might be high up here, that's okay, but just bring it down to where feels okay, and then rotate towards the knee. Left elbow comes down towards left foot and rotate towards the knee. A lot of people get this in the wrong direction first and wonder what's going on. But if you're rotating towards the front knee, you know you're in the right spot. Good. We're going to roll around to the other side. Right leg is forward, hands on the inside, those head to knee. Breathe in and out, coming down. In your own time. Up on those fingertips if that helps you. Good, planting that left hand down, right elbow comes down, and we rotate towards that right knee. Good, trying to stay stable in your hips, so make sure all the rotation isn't coming from your hips. And one extra for good measure. Good job. Okay, we are coming into gate pose next. So you're going to come up standing on your knees, and then the left leg goes out to the side. From here, just making sure the knees directly underneath the hips, and bring your hands down in front of you. So hands underneath shoulders, that right knee's underneath your hip, and just push back, stretching to the groin. We'll go for 4 here. Good, and then lifting up the left arm up to the sky, going for a thread the needle rotation through there. Nice and gentle on the back, just getting some movement through the spine. 2 to go. Last one. Creaks and cracks through the spine here, and coming up tall. So from this position, bring your right hand down onto the ground, lifting up overhead. Good, and then left arm on the leg there and up. You can run through this a few more times. Good, and coming up. And last one. Coming over and up. Good, changing sides. Okay, so we're going to bring right one out to the side now. Hands underneath shoulders, pushing back. 4 times here, just opening up through the groin. Good, and then we're going into those rotations. Right arm lifts up and gently coming under. Breath in. And last one. Good, now there's nice flows here coming up. Let's bring left hand down, right arm comes over, and then flowing side to side. Just 3 here. Good, and last one. Oh, hopefully that has created some more space in your body. I'm going to come down onto the mat. Very last thing here, bringing your knees into your chest. Good, giving them a good hug, and then into a happy baby to finish up. So you can pop your hands on the outside of your feet, around your ankles, shins, maybe you just hold the back of your legs. Anywhere in this position. I won't hold for too long here today. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can go into a single leg. Maybe that leg comes up, and I'll just let you know when we're halfway. Good, that's it. Otherwise everyone is in that double your variation. You can rock side to side here. Changing legs if you are in that single leg. Good, adding a rock if that feels good for you. Nice. Everyone bringing that down, legs together. Nice big hug and then straighten out on your mat. Really big stretch. Well done for making the time for you today and giving your body some movement medicine. I hope to see you soon. Let me know what you think. Thanks guys. Bye.